Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya Yoga Yoga Yogeshwaraya Bhuta Bhuta Bhuteshwaraya Kala Kala Kaleshwaraya Shiva Shiva Sarveshwaraya Shambho Shambho Mahadevaya Namaskaram. Namaskaram to everyone, wherever you are. Well, the virus rages on, big increase in numbers in United States, Europe and many other countries. Looks like Hello, is that okay? They have no audio outside, please. So, particularly United States, nearly 150,000 cases in a day. Also, as we know, major countries in Europe have gone back into lockdown. What is really needed is not lockdown, but a more responsible behavior from the citizens of every nation. Unfortunately, because that is not forthcoming, lockdowns are being reimposed. Maybe with the onset of winter or cold weather, this is going up. That's what some people say, some people disagree with it. But the important thing is, it's on in a big way, in a way much bigger than what we saw in its first wave. In southern India, things are looking very good for some reason. Whatever the reason, the cases have dropped, fatalities have dropped to just over 500 in the entire country in India. Only a few cities like Delhi, maybe to some extent Mumbai, but I think Mumbai is also getting under control. Particularly Tamil Nadu, it's dropped, daily cases has dropped below 2,000 for the first time. Must be doing something right because this learning curve should not take too long because too many people are dying. And there is a segment of the population which is still going about saying the entire thing is a media hoax. So, it's important that we respond to this properly, not with panic, not with paranoia, just conscious, responsible response. Now, everybody is looking forward to a magical vaccine, which is supposed to be just a few weeks away. An American one, an English one, a Russian one. 3, all claiming over 90% effectiveness. Well, a vaccine is good in one level, but how many things are we going to vaccinate ourselves against? That is also a question. Someone was telling me, these days children are getting 72 vaccines, which itself is a big problem. Vaccinations have kept us alive. In our childhood, if we were not vaccinated, maybe half of us wouldn't be alive by now, most probably. So it's important, you can't overdo a good thing. The moment you overdo it, it gets terrible. So right now, this effort to vaccinate the entire population is it's an onerous job, but right now the level of fear, panic and losses to economic process is such that maybe it has to be done. I'm not an expert on this, but people thinking there is one magic wand solution to every problem, not willing to do little things that we can take care of, but want one big bang solution for everything is a wrong approach. If vaccine becomes effective, wonderful. But even if it doesn't, we must know how to tide through this without getting killed or ensuring nobody around us dies. Human beings are capable of this if only little more responsible behavior, that's all it takes. So, everybody thought it'll give them a break, but it is not. The Canadian Prime Minister is proposing or threatening that he will ban all Christmas celebrations. In India, the Deepavali in the last 2 days has been muted because lots of controls. One important part of Deepavali, particularly for children and young adults, was the crackers. Well, when we were children, that was the best thing about the festival. Now, for variety of reasons, pandemic, pollution, religious strategies, all put together, most cities, I think, have banned crackers. While considering how densely populated cities are becoming, maybe that's the way forward. But that also should happen out of people's response, not by ban. So, still 21st century, but still we are going at it like somebody has to threaten you, eternal damnation, otherwise you will not change. No, that's not the way forward for a human being. This week also commemorates another disastrous event. A little over a century ago, which is the beginning or the World War I. Probably early 20th century, as mechanization of armies happened in a big way, and for the first time, flying machines came into military usage. People started thinking of not war between two nations, world wars. A grand sense of a war. There is never anything grand about a war, it's just gory, not glory, gory. Because people always talk about the glorious victories No, a glorious victory means thousands or millions were slaughtered. Somebody who stood on a pile of dead bodies thought they're in glory. I never could understand. There are lots of old pictures in India, I'm sure everywhere. Maybe new pictures also, because people still go… You know, you heard about that dentist from United States who went to Africa and beheaded a lion, a male lion, because he took the big game license and shot a lion, and then he didn't want to leave it there, so he cut the head of the lion. A lion's head is a grand thing, huh? So they would like to cut the head and he cut it because they trained him in his medical courses how to cut things up. A doctor who beheads is a little bit of a worry. When you go sit there on the dentist's chair, not a good prospect. And if you look grand, if suppose well, we've used human capabilities in so many ways. World War I was the beginning. Well, there have been Genghis Khans, there has been a Kurukshetra in the past, but not on this scale, because in World War I, over 30 nations participated in the war. Over 65 million men were in the war, either conscripted or went as volunteers, volunteer soldiers. Germany and France lost 80% of the male population in the age groups of 15 to 49. 9 million soldiers died, 21 million wounded, 10 million civilian deaths. 15% of the French population was injured or maimed. Gas attacks of phosgene and chlorine, which would go into your lungs and form acids and you would drown from within. Most horrible way of dying. And then they used mustard gas, which literally skinned you alive. It took the skin off your body, peeled. Over thousands of unexploded shells and ammunition is still there in Europe. To what extent means, in some parts of France it is such that there are over 300 shells per hectare, still unable to remove. The French government says it may take up to 300 years to weed out all these explosives that were dropped in World War I. I'm talking about World War I, not II. And over 1 million troops from India participated as a part of supporting the English. Over 67,000 got killed, over 100,000 got injured. Most of them lost their feet because they were in the trenches in France and Germany with just Kolhapuri chappals, because they didn't give them shoes. After all, they were Indians. And in about… a few years ago, I think, yeah, 2018, I think, 2018, the Indian Army set up a wonderful, very beautifully done, like an exhibition of recreating World War I in Delhi. I went there because, I knew about… I'm not going into the gory details of what happened and how they were treated. And most of them did not even know they were going for war. They were just taken for a job. The job was, with 15 days training, they were given a rifle and put in a trench in the front lines, of course. So 20th century, well, World War II statistics we don't have to talk, you know. I'm saying, when we are like this to each other, we have no business complaining about the virus. Really. When this is what we will do, when we prosper, this is what we will do to each other. What business complaining about a virus? So, I'm not trying to belittle the present situation, but like every problem that we face, what is needed is an intelligence response, not wild reactions, not panic-ridden things, nor one of superhuman confidence. One set of people will die, another set of people will destroy themselves because of their own fears and panic. There is a sensible way to approach every problem that's thrown at us. This is important, not only to address that problem. If that becomes our way of life, at least we will not be the source of problems. Other problems may come, we will respond to the best of our abilities. Anyway, vaccine is coming. Let me read a poem to you, two, if you will endure. Hello? If you survive one, I will read the second one. It's called No Matter. As clouds spread to sunscreen the planet, to long for the warmth of the burning ball, as clouds spread to sunscreen the planet, to long for the warmth of the burning ball. Unconcerned, he burns and does not suffer lack of attention from all life that thrive, fed upon his indomitable fire of light and warmth. Unconcerned he burns and does not suffer lack of attention from life that thrive, all life that thrive, fed upon his indomitable fire of light and warmth. Let not you wait for reception of the right sort. May you burn bright, no matter world looks your way or not. Let not you wait for reception of the right sort. May you burn bright, no matter the world looks your way or not. Right now, a whole lot of people are suffering lack of attention from their neighbors because they don't know who you are with the mask on. But you look at the plus side of it, how much makeup budget you're saving, the ladies. Hello? All you need is a mask. Becomes very simple. What kind of mask to wear? There are lots of designer masks out there. gold embroidered. India is producing gold embroidered masks, various masks, and there is a certain privacy behind the mask. You can make whatever kind of face you want, nobody sees. You can twist your mouth at them, they won't see. Nobody can even check whether you're smiling or not. Many advantages. The fall. Looking out at the valley seems like the sky is attempting to fit into the earth, or the cloud that we see as fluff in the sky has fallen into the valley. Looking out at the valley seems like the sky is attempting to fit into the earth, or cloud that we see as fluff in the sky has fallen into the valley. As all things that fly has to fall or land, as all things that fly has to land or fall, the same fate for the stone and the star that they need to fall. The same fate for a stone and a star that they need to fall. Yes, we must fall. Now, to make falling a beautiful phenomena, fall in love, devotion or in surrender as to fall is free. It's free, Climbing has a cost, falling is free. It is just that you must just learn to fall into very beautiful spaces. Where is that beautiful space? The most beautiful space is within you. If you're willing to fall into it, you can fall endlessly because it's a bottomless pit. That sounds terrifying. No, a pit with a bottom means you're going to smash. A bottomless pit means it's a free fall. No danger. It's fantastic, forever. So, very interesting times. People, I know, many of you will not like me saying this, but being alive in challenging times where our response determines the result of the situation or what it generates or produces are very interesting times for a human being. I want you to think, if you were in World War I or World War II, your own actions would not determine anything about your life. Somebody is raining bombs on you, boom, you're gone. 65 million people participating, over 30 million people dead. None of them, or most of them, did not have a choice. They were just walking on the street or sleeping in their homes or working, doing something, trying to get some survival process done, but boom, gone. So being in times where our response will make the difference, but it's a challenging time, is a great time to be, if you ask me. I know this may be a bit insulting for people who have lost dear ones. I have lost quite a few people who are dear to me. But people who have lost livelihoods, businesses, jobs, money, many things. But situation can be determined by the choices that we make. These are interesting times in that sense, because this is the time to show your ingenuity. This is the time to unfold your genius. This is the time to test all the fanciful things that you believed about yourself. Yes, this is the time when the situation in the world tests you. That is the time to show who you are. There have been lots of pressure that I am not answering enough questions in the darshan. I thought darshan means I simply sit here, you simply sit there and look, behold. That's what darshan is supposed to be, but no, they want questions answered, please.
This question is from Divya in Chennai. Namaskaram, Sadhguru. I lost my job this week and am finding it very difficult to come to terms with it. I worked with total involvement and was doing very well. Losing all that I worked really hard for over the last 12 years is already immensely painful. I understand the situation, but how do I accept the quantum of loss, taking not only my past, but also mine and my family's future away?
Namaskaram, Divya. You must listen to me carefully, because in your present condition, when you're a little distraught, you could easily misunderstand or misinterpret what I say. There are choices in life, but sometimes the choices are like this. Shankaran Pillai's wife was delivering their third child. He had 2 daughters. He was hell-bent that the third one must be a boy. It's an Indian problem, okay. But the doctor came out and said, it's a girl. Shankaran Pillai was distraught. The doctor tried to console him. It's all right, it's a girl, but she could be a tomboy. Then Shankaran Pillai said, no doctor, it's okay. Anyway, my second choice was a girl. Sometimes in life, choices are like this. So, 12 years of hard work, I'm not saying this to belittle whatever problems that you may face, but hard work. 12 years hard labor, you've been released. Some celebration must happen for that. But my salary, my money, my bills, my rent, children's school fees, yes, these are there. But as I said just now, talking about World War I because we are commemorating this week about World War I, compared to what people went through in terms of wars, in terms of famines, in terms of massive cyclones, earthquakes in various geographies, different things. Compared to all that, this pandemic is a softball because the result or the impact of this upon your life will largely depend on your response. In those situations, people had no choice, it just happened to them. Somebody decided there needs to be a war. Everybody else are just plain victims, they have no choice, they just have to die. Well, the whole world, including you and me, have economic problems right now. But our economic problems are such, whether it's pandemic or stock market collapse or recession, it inevitably has to happen because we are in an economic mode where it's always about more, and more. Somewhere, some alignment will happen. This may sound like a very cruel thing to say when you've just lost your job. But I want you to understand, my father was saying this. He's a qualified physician. He started his career in a tuberculosis sanatorium in Mysore. It was his commitment that at least for a year or two he will work in a tuberculosis sanatorium because his mother died of tuberculosis when he was just 4.5 years of age or 5 years of age at the most, 4.5 I think. So he was committed, when I become a doctor, I will serve in a sanatorium. And this sanatorium somehow it got organized that later on when he built a home for his family, it happened to be very close, within a couple of kilometers even today. So, he joined for a salary of 50 rupees. 50 rupees, I'm telling you, 50 rupees, that is less than $1 in today's world, a qualified physician. Oh, academically very up there. Then by the time he retired as a senior medical officer, a chief medical officer or something like that, in the Indian Railways, he was getting 14,500 rupees. He just passed away, okay, this week also is 1 year after he passed away on 8th of November. As a terrible son that I am, I was not there. I had told him I won't be there because I had to. I had commitments. Well, so when my nephew, my sister's son, joined up in an IT company a few years ago, he started with some 35,000 rupee salary. My father just looked at him and said, "You fool, are you good for nothing you are? They're giving you 35,000, I retired with 14,500. So I'm saying, compared to previous generations, how much more we have, how much more? So if we have to cut down our lives by 10–20%, let's not cry too much. Your fathers, your grandfathers, maybe it might have been physically a little harder, but they didn't live a bad life. They lived well in their own way. So if we have to roll back a little bit, at least understand you're doing a great ecological service. Economy has slowed down. Yes, there is a lot of pain because of adjustment that we have to do with our lives. It's not just for you, Divya, for all of us, for everyone in the world. Nobody is spared. That things have to roll back. Well, maybe nobody is spared is a wrong thing to say because certain types of businesses are flourishing, stock market is booming. So maybe somebody is benefiting, that's a good thing, let's not resent that. But a whole lot of people, they have to cut down their life. Well, this has been the preachings of various ecological activists that you need to cut back. It's happening. Well, how do my children go to school? How do I manage my home? How do I manage this? How do I pay the bank loan? There are problems. I'm not saying there are no problems, there are problems. But the most important thing is that you're alive. Your family is alive. People that matter to you are alive. Keep it that way. Because that's the most precious thing. Don't get into this mode, oh, I've lost my job, I lost everything. You've not lost everything. There's only one thing that is of immense value in your life, that is your life itself. So that is still with you. Some accessories will be lost. Maybe you will realize some new talent that without going to office you can still make your livelihood. See, this virus made me a painter. Hello. I'm raising funds for the foundation and its various projects through my paintings, and whoever believed that I would become a painter, I never imagined. I just put my hand to it and it works. So, this is a time to innovate. This is a time to explore, this is a time to enhance who we are. This is a time also to cut down our expenses, limit our excesses and bring our life to some sense. So, this loss of job, don't make it too distressing. No need to become distraught. There is a second choice, you know. There are various ways that you can do some enterprise. What kind of enterprise? We don't know. It may work, it may not work. Essentially, you're not struggling with life, your mind is struggling with the uncertainty of not having a job. Shankaran Pillai, in the month of December, bought up over 100,000 calendars, 2020 calendars, for 3 cents a piece. 100,000 calendars in the month of December. So, people said, what are you going to do with this? The year is almost over, what will you do with this? I said, you don't worry, just in case it comes back, I will make a whole lot of money. Like this, we have lots of expectations. Some expectations crash. It's not really a bad thing. Yes, some expectations crash. Not a bad thing at all. Oh, Sadhguru, it's easy for you to talk, maybe da-da-da, everything is great for you. No, you just have the responsibility of 3 to 4 people on your hands and you're worrying your head out. I have the responsibility of thousands of people, millions actually. We've committed to the farmers that we will do certain things. We're not going to go back on that. We will fulfill that. Well, it's going to be much harder, much more work. But will we do hard work? No. We will key up our joyfulness. We'll key up our energies so that, when you need more power, you need to supercharge yourself. That's what we will do. We'll not go back on our commitments, nor should you. Whatever commitments you have of family, children, anything else if you have, you should not go back on that. You must see how. This is why a human being has been invested with a certain level of intelligence. Time to exercise that. Not to set into an automatic mode, I got a job, so I don't have to think anymore, just have to go there and come back. My life is taken care of. No, that's not the way to live. Survival is not the end game for a human being. Survival has to be taken care of, that's all. But that's not the end game. Here I have thousands of young people, volunteers, who are doing things in their life which is not about themselves, it's not about their survival. Because I've infused them with a certain sense of madness that they don't have to worry about their survival. Because if you're really concerned about everybody's well-being, you don't have to worry about your survival, world will take care of you to whatever extent. If you're not particular how you survive, no. Most of the time the problem is you want to survive better than your neighbor. Because of that, it's an endless problem. In this competition of trying to be better than everybody else or somebody else, how many silly things human beings are doing is unbelievable. Well, your activity should match with the situation. Do not ever expect the situation should be frozen, always like this, always you have a job, always this is going to happen. No, your activity should match the situations in which you exist. This happened. 3 ladies were discussing about what to wear for the evening party that they were going to. Then one of them said, no, that you can't wear what you want. You are required to wear something the same color as your husband's hair. Then one said, okay, I have a black suit, no problem, I'm going to wear that. The other one said, oh, I think I have to go and shop, I don't have a grey dress, I have to go and get it, I need to go and get a salt and pepper kind of dress. The other one looked distraught and said, oh my God, I'm not coming.
This question is from Isabel. Sadhguru, I heard you speaking about the impact of wearing clothes with different colors. Also, the monks in Isha and India wear orange as it helps in their spiritual journey. I want to ask a question if wearing certain colors can impact our spiritual growth. What is the impact of the color of the skin on our spiritual journey?
This is a racist question. No, I think the previous joke I wasted on that question. Ditto. Well, the monks in India don't wear orange clothes, they largely color their clothes with the soil, with red earth, because we want to exist here as understanding always, existentially understanding, experientially understanding that what my body is just an outcrop. So there is a tradition in India of going and meditating near anthills. In this part of the world, I have not seen anthills growing like this. Do you have? I have not seen any in this region. But in southern India, everywhere in the country, generally in the tropical country, the anthills grow like that, and people believe, or for a long time believed that this is a snake house. Because snakes go inside in search of some protein, because the termites are super rich in protein. Because this whole thing that they build, they are mixing with their saliva, which is a very high-quality protein, very high-quality protein. They're mixing with the soil and they're building it that it withstands any kinds of monsoon, any kind of weather. Architecturally, it's fantastic. And in a way, our buildings are also in the Isha Yoga Center in India are designed like a termite hill. I learnt engineering from them because I did go into the termite hills for various reasons myself. But it is said, some of the tunnels going up to 700 kilometers, a termite can locate water 700 kilometers away and go there, digging up a tunnel. A lot of people who don't have any water divining capabilities have this tendency to believe where there is a termite hill, there will be water, and they dig wells near a termite hill, but it could be 700 kilometers away. It's happened to quite a few people that they did not find any water. Sometimes it is true. So, the idea is to be always conscious that your physical self is just an outcrop of the land that you walk upon. That's not of great significance. Keeping it well is important. Keeping it well is important not to flaunt to other people, but keeping it well is important so that it doesn't come in your way. It doesn't come in your way means, if your body becomes troublesome because of, let's say, some health issue, then 100% of your attention will be only on that body. Taking care of the body will be 100% of your time and life. So keeping the body in such a way, if you sit here, you're not even aware that it's here. Otherwise, the various compulsive cycles in the body will keep you busy all the time. You should have seen the initial arguments when I came to this country and I said, the sessions are 3 hours long. They said, no way, our bladder capacity is only 1.5 hours. We need a break, otherwise we can't do it. Well, after the second day, nobody asked for a break, that's a different matter. But first day when they come, they say, no, this looks tyrannical, 3 hours, no toilet. Why did they build so many if we cannot go and use it? Toilets are not built for you to use it by choice. When the body's compulsions demand, we use it. But when the compulsive cycles are too short, then this keeps you busy all the time. Eating, toilet, relieving yourself endlessly, this will keep you busy. But once a certain ailment or pain or something manifests in the body, it will keep you 100% busy. So keeping it well is not about showing it off to somebody, how my body is. Keeping it well is, it's not in your way, it's not an impediment, it's a platform upon which you can stand. The same goes for the mental structure, and mental structures, which I know many people will start an argument on this, but your mental structure and your physical structures are very connected. If you keep your physical structure and the cycles in the body at a certain level of stability, psychological stability is a kind of a consequence. Well, people will argue because they think mind is a separate world by itself. Yes, their mind is because it's a separate mind, it's a separate world, it's not here. But your brain is also body, isn't it? And today you know, if you have psychological problems, you don't inject something into your head, you put a pill in your stomach and it works. So obviously, physiological stability, the chemical stability in the body is vital for how your mind is. So the important thing is your body and your mind should not become an impediment. Especially for one who is focused on something beyond that, he doesn't want his body to come in the way. So sannyasis are wearing clothes which are washed in soil because the best way to make the body stable is to be connected to the earth. Today, various quasi-sciences are coming up and they say people are sleeping with a copper wire attached to their big toe and earth it in the ground and all kinds of things. All you have to do is, maybe in this country, in this kind of weather, you cannot really walk barefoot all over the place, but at least indoors, you walk barefoot. At least indoors, that's not really earth. So much is in between you and earth, but at least there, because still there is a benefit. So this is like earth covering yourself, because your clothing has the quality of the earth and it connects you in so many ways, keeps your body aside and you're always conscious that your body is a part of this earth. So even when death comes, you don't have a great amount of struggle because you know anyway it was a part of this always. But in your head you can imagine things just to stop that imagination. So, does skin color impact my spirituality? As I said, that is a very racist question, but now anyway you ask, so why should I miss the opportunity? This is the best skin color. If you want to be spiritual, you must burn yourself to this, otherwise you're not going to make it. So based on skin color, will you get there or not? It's like this. I was, the other day, 2 days ago, I was driving out near Fall Creek Fall, and two guys, little soaked up in mud, and they suddenly came out of the forest. They had parked their truck somewhere close by, and they came towards the truck. Then I saw they were carrying crossbow, they had arrows and a crossbow. So they're hunters. When I looked at them, the first thing, the way they were soaked in earth, because they've been lying there somewhere, and previous night there has been rains in the area, so they're all kind of a little damp with that. It reminded me of my days in the forest. Well, I never took a crossbow because I had no intention of hunting, but just being in the forest. After a week, these guys were out just for a couple of hours or maybe a few hours. I was out there for weeks. When I came back, soil was everywhere, You had to come and clean your ears, your nostrils and everything because earth will soak into you. But they had crossbows. Let's say these two guys, next time they went hunting in the month of December, they got lost. The game warden had told them, when you get lost, don't worry. If you get lost in the mountains, don't worry, just fire 3 shots in the air. I will come and find you. So they got lost and they fired 3 shots. Nothing happened. They left another 15 minutes, fired 3 more, nothing happened. Another 15 minutes, they fired 3 more, nothing happened. Then they got desperate. Then one guy said, I have only 3 arrows left. So, if you're looking at your skin color and thinking whether you will get enlightened or not, well, you're really not even going skin deep, This is the color of the skin is not even skin deep, It's too much surface. Don't stay there. You need to get a little deeper than that. So, just bear with me. Yogarato va bhogarato va Sangarato va sangavina Yasya brahmani ramate chitam Yasya brahmani ramate chitam Nandati nandati nandate va Nandati nandati nandate va